Okay, looks like we're on the stream. Shows RPGrinders. We haven't started yet. We, of course, are waiting for Breakman to join us. We've got a heck of a show for you guys lined up today. Tons of news. Of course, what's the name of that Gamescom? I think it's Gamescom Live.
Gamescom.
Yeah, Gamescom.
It sounded like you said con, though.
No, Gamescom. Went on no major real announcements, but we will talk slightly about some of that stuff. There's a bunch of news that Eric has gathered for us. Jesus, Eric, a lot of news.
Oh, that's because there was a Gamescom stuff going on.
Yeah. Looks like Eric has a review of Dandara. We are going to crown the N64 champion today. We've been doing that for a few weeks. We'll also announce our next bracket, next tournament. My suggestion is, since we're on the Nintendo kick, we might as well do regular Nintendo games. But we'll ask the chat. Eric will have his pick. I'll have my pick. Break will have his pick, and chat will determine what we do next month, starting next week.
So I wonder if these on-demand movies could get like a "I'm single, I want a refund," like a rebate type of deal.
Yeah,
you pay up front and then you get a rebate for being single.
Yeah, right. That's
because
not
they
how it
expect
works,
the whole
man.
families to watch this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's not how it's
That
gonna
cuts
work.
out people like me.
Yeah, I mean, typically, what do you spend when you go to a theater, Eric? Like $25, something like that. So
See, I could buy the video, but then I'd have to access my account at my parents' house if we decided to watch it there.
yeah,
And that's kind of a hassle.
it is a hassle, but I'm leaning towards going digital everything, Eric. Like I contemplated getting the PlayStation Digital Edition when it comes out, but I got too many PS4 games to justify that, so I'll be getting the
People are putting
disc
up
version.
weird estimates of like it being over $1,000.
No way, man.
Yeah, maybe if it's like that jewel encrusted one PS4 that we saw a while back.
Yeah, no. I've got it on good authority, Eric, that it's going to cost about $500. That's going to be the price of the.
I think this lottery system is absolutely ridiculous. So
I agree.
it's like I know you're gonna have a limited stock, and that's kind of why you're doing this. But to do this having a chance is kind of like doing loot boxes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I hate it. I put my name in the hat, but it's going to be a debacle this
The
year.
very list that will clue me in as to when I can go to GameStop instead.
Yeah, I don't want to go to GameStop, but if I have to get one, I certainly will.
Or Best Buy or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, any which way I can get one this year without paying $1,000, I'm gonna do it.
I still have that one check. I'm gonna throw my money on it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get the Xbox right away. And the determining factor of that was Halo. If Halo would have been included in the launch window. Yeah, I agree. I'm not getting an Xbox until
some stuff comes out that's exclusive to the console, and I'm gonna need to review it somehow.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm gonna wait a little while on that. I was gonna get it right away.
Coming out console.
And another rumor I heard is gonna be $100 more than the PlayStation. So instead of paying $500, you're gonna be paying $600. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm more sure of the PlayStation price. The digital edition's only going to cost $400. So that'll be interesting to see the pricing.
Where'd you hear this stuff, though?
What's that?
So where'd you hear this stuff?
I've got some good sources, Eric. I've got some. I mean, there was that Chinese website, but I kind of nosed around with a couple of my sources and.
What are your sources?
I'm not gonna tell. Like, why would I say that, Eric? Why would I?
Somebody that works in the industry.
Of course. Why would I give that information? Like somebody that's given me information that may know a little more.
You can tell me off air
Yeah,
later.
I mean, I'll tell you, Eric. I'm just not. I'm not gonna divulge that to everybody else on the internet, man. Then then my source crumbles. Then I won't be able to go back to the well.
Make it sound like it's like a black market deal, though.
No, it's not a black market deal, but you know how the industry is, Eric. Like if you give up a source, then that source gets in trouble, and
The whole secrecy thing is stupid.
it is dumb, Eric, but it has to be that way. We can't. I mean, I can't give you guys like everything. Like it just that's not how it's gonna work. Like
It's like Nintendo's Sony and Microsoft are playing a game chicken, and they're gonna be like the fucking Democratic Party and not announce their running mate until like months before the election.
I'm really upset about all this, Eric, because like you're right. They're both. It's Microsoft. It's not Nintendo's back here laughing. They don't care. Next year they're gonna release their 4K system, and it's gonna be great. And they're gonna learn from some of these mistakes from these. It's classic Nintendo. They sit back. They look at what other people do, and then they do their own thing. Like the Nintendo, you never have to worry about.
People said the Switch was gonna win the next console generation, but it's more like the Switch's successor will.
Yeah, it's not gonna win. I mean, Sony's the obvious winner of this generation, but it's
gonna win market share.
It's. I mean, there's no other fucking system. I was talking to Bernie about this, Eric. Like, there's no other system like the Switch. Like, you can't take the PlayStation 4 with you everywhere you go. You can't do that with the Xbox. You can play these.
No, you could if they actually put straps on it. They could wear like a backpack.
Yeah, no, man. And a generator and all that type of stuff for
It'd get pretty
power.
hot though. So maybe you need a plate in between the two.
Well, nobody's gonna do that, dude. Like, it's the system of choice for gamers that want, to be able to game on the road. And I was talking to Bernie about it, and she didn't even know. She was like kind of clueless. She was just thinking that it was just like the PlayStation. I was like, Bernie, you could take that system with you anywhere you go. You go to the bathroom, you can take it. It's like it's seamless. And then if you come home, you put it right into that cradle. You can play it on your TV. I mean, it's an awesome system. The Switch is a great idea, and it's no real difference between what you're seeing on the big screen as opposed to the little screen. As a matter of fact, the little screen's even a little bit better. Because
depending on the game anyway.
Yeah, mostly depending on the game, but I mean, it's an awesome system. It's a great system, and that's why like these companies are interested in producing for it. Why else would Witcher 3 be on the Switch? I mean, there's just, I mean, Nintendo knows what they're doing is what I'm trying to say. Sony is the definite winner this time around, and I have a feeling they're going to be the winner the next go round because, like, I mean, Eric, we've talked about this, and it's finally happening, dude. Call of Duty is running. I don't know if it's natively running at 4K. I doubt it's natively running at 4K, but 4K gaming at 120 frames per second for Call of Duty. That is nothing less than impressive. I want to see it when it comes out, and all that fun stuff.
That doesn't justify it being $70 though. It just.
No, I agree.
Activision is just greedy.
That aside, Eric. But out of the gate, they're touting that. So for a fact, even if they're lying and it's not a native 4K resolution at 120 frames per second, that system is going to be capable of it at the end of its life cycle. For a fact it's going to do it. And this is something I've been talking about for a long time. The fucking Dreamcast was doing 60 frames per second, and everybody thought I was dead on crazy for talking about how this generation should have been doing 60 frames 1080p like from the jump, and now these new systems are doing 4K 120 frames. So it's here, man. Like this is going to be the pinnacle of gaming. I guarantee it. I'm pretty sure the Xbox is going to do the same thing. There are a couple of tactical advantages on the PS5, like the haptic feedback and stuff like that. But It's here, Eric. The future of gaming is here, and I'm happy to see it. Like, this is something I've been waiting for a long time. Now, of course, you're going to need 120 hertz capable TV. With
Yeah, I don't have that, but at least I can get consistent 60.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at getting a new TV because I want to experience that 120 frames per second, and you're going to need actual 2.1 HDMI that is capable of 48 gigabytes of information.
You don't really need 120. It just gives you more frame real estate to deal with.
Yeah. Well, you don't, but I would. I'm gonna recommend it for this next gen, man. Like, I'm looking at it. Like, I was looking at Vizio TVs. The only thing that's in question is they tout 2.1 HDMI, but I'm not sure it can handle the gigabyte load in order to get a true 120 frames per second. But if I can find a TV that does that doesn't break my bank, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy a new TV. I'm gonna have the PlayStation later on. I'll have the Xbox, and we'll be, I'll tell you guys how it is, how that experience is. And I'm not gonna buy Call of Duty off the bat. That's not one of the game. I mean, I'm interested in it because of the 120 frames per second 4K. And now the one thing I'm not sure is if it's native 4K. So I'm not sure if they're.
It's probably sub 4K, but that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean if they're doing, Eric, if they're doing
It's like most games last gen were like running at 980.
Yeah, if they're doing native 1080p at 120 frame per second, that's insane. That's that's going to be good enough. And I looked at, I think Ratchet and Clank is running at 60 frames per second, and it looks fantastic. I threw on my
still need to play the remake.
Yeah, I played the remake. It's excellent. It's really, really good.
Is that at 60 on a Pro?
I'm pretty sure it's 60 on a Pro. And if it's not 60, it's damn near close, and it plays almost flawlessly. It's a great game, Eric. It's a great, great game on the Pro.
I've been holding off playing my AAA games.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I still got a few games to brush up on the PS4. Like, I still got a few Yakuza games, stuff like that. But other than that, I'm done with the PS4. I can move on to the PS5 and stuff like that. Just waiting on break. The show's RPGrinders. We have not started yet. We're just talking about a bunch of gaming stuff, and we'll get into it soon enough. We're going to have the conclusion of our N64 tournament, the greatest N64 game of all time. We will determine that today. And we're going to have a discussion about 120 frames per second, like we were just talking about, stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun show today. We've got a ton of news. We'll try to just hit the headlines. I don't want to get too much into any of these news stories because there's too many. But looks like Eric has a review for Dandara. We've got our usual Stinkos and Sweetos of the week. You guys are going to want to stick around for my Stinko because it's pretty funny. What else we got, Eric? I didn't do a lot of gaming this week because I'm just now getting over that sickness, man. Like, today was like the first day I felt a little bit better in a long time. So like 2.5 weeks. So, you guys are gonna have to forgive me for not being the most active playing video games this week, but I'll get back on that horse today. What else, Eric? Let's see. I did notice you were playing Dark Souls Remastered. Eric, how's that going so far?
Just playing a sorcerer build.
Oh, okay. Let's see, what else? The tournament's going to be interesting. We've got 8 games left. Only one is going to survive. Will it be the favorite Ocarina of Time, or will it be an underdog like Quake? We'll find out in our final 8, and we'll whittle that down to the final game. What are you thinking of for tournament for next month, Eric? Kind of. What are you thinking?
Action movies, probably.
Oh, okay.
Or action movie characters.
Action movies or action movie characters? Okay. We could do that for sure. We'll find out what Break is thinking, and you guys in chat will determine the next week's or next month's tournament. So that should be a ton of fun. I think we'll have a ton of fun with these. October's going to be reserved. Let's get Break on in here. Let's see. Let's get Break. Boom, boom. Add Break, and there we go. If you're just joining us, the show's RPGrinders. We have not started yet. We're just waiting for Break to get here, and then we'll get started proper. Trying to get Break on now. Breakman.
Yes.
You are here. What's up, man?
Awesome. Oh, good. Everything works.
Yeah, everything's looking
So
far so good. Dude, I really thought the NBA was done, dude. I thought they were actually going to make a good change, but money talks and everything else is nothing.
Yeah.
So we got lots of news. So we're going to be doing the finals of the N64 tournament. What are you thinking for next month's tournament, Break?
Well, we had a few ideas, but what the chatters? Nobody sent me anything on Twitter, so
yeah,
I don't know what anybody wants.
This is how it's going to work. Like, us three are going to come up with an idea. I already said that, since we're on the Nintendo kick, we might as well do the top Nintendo games of all time, regular Nintendo. Eric said top action movies or top action heroes. That's his pick, and then whatever your pick, and then chat will determine the winner.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool. That'll work, I guess.
What you thinking, man?
I'm thinking the 80s theme songs.
Ooh, 80s theme song. Okay, that's a really good one too. You were the only one to really think of music, so that's good, man. We'll figure it out. We'll
do that.
Yeah, we'll definitely
figure out which ones we do first, and do the other ones later.
Yeah, we could do that too. Or you could just keep
a tournament about tournaments.
A tournament about tournaments. Yeah.
We'll whittle them down the top 64 tournament. Now, which tournament do you want us to do?
What I was thinking of, like with the video game ones, we could take like the top 8 or top 4, and then throw those into a tournament at the end to determine the greatest game of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I think we could do that. I think that'd be fun. But that's for way later. I mean, we've got tons of shit to do before then. We've got tons of news. You guys ready to go? We'll just get right into it. And
yeah, sure. Now that my links are starting to open, yes, I guess I'm getting ready here shortly.
You know what? Give me a quick second, because I got some videos here that I got to queue up that I forgot to queue up before, because I don't like to hit play on a video while you guys are talking, then all of a sudden the music blares.
Slagar goes to commercial.
Slagar, can you hear us? Slagar's in chat, apparently. Let us know if you can hear us. We haven't started yet, Slagar. We're just getting started here. I got just trying to. Yep, you can hear us. Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate. Thanks for being in chat, Slagar. We've got lots to talk about today. Lots of news. Of course, Gamescom. It's usually in Germany, but they kind of did it out of LA this year. Is going on. So we've got just a plethora of news. Hopefully, we can just do the headlines and just move on, because there's so much, so much, and lots of videos that I'm working on getting queued up here, so that way there'll be no musical interruptions. How you doing, Slagar? Lots of Warcraft news. Yeah, I did see the expansion Warcraft stuff. I don't know what else there is, but hopefully we'll get some in the news here. And see, that's what I wanted to avoid. Is like having you guys talk and then all of a sudden music, you know.
I like the old theme we used to play. Oh shit! I'm gonna yawn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep myself here. I'm yawning.
somebody might have had one too many already, right? Break.
Uh,
Let's see more. Geez, lots of videos this week. I didn't get a chance to watch any of these videos, man. I've been busy. Okay, there we go. There, just a couple more, guys. Sorry for the delay here. We'll get started here real soon. If you're just joining us, shows RPGrinders will be starting here in just a second. Lots to talk about today. Our finals of the N64 tournament, plus we will determine the next tournament next month. Had some good suggestions by these guys. So you guys in chat, Slagar, if it's just you, you're going to be the one to determine what we do next month. So that should be fun. It's either going to be regular Nintendo games, 80s theme songs. I think that's what you said, right, Eric? Or Break. And then what was the other? Oh, 80s action movies or action heroes. So should be lots of fun. Golly, the screenshots today are uber sexual. Kind of dig it. Let's see, one more. Oh yeah, okay, we'll talk about that later. All right, that was a surprise from Gamescom, Eric. Okay, you guys ready? Five too many, huh,
Yes.
Slagar? That's always the case, man. I mean, you know, I think after this show is going to be the first time I imbibing a little weed for the first time in a few days, man, and that's
I guess we should be glad that wasn't 5 too little.
yeah, five too little is no bueno. I guess 5 too many is okay. Another TV viewers in chat, welcome. Another TV viewer. Here we go. You guys ready to do this? Because we got lots of news.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this. And welcome everybody to RPGrinders episode 606. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Okay.
That's 2 in a row for you, Breakman. You know, you must be really tired, man. Yeah. How are you, Eric? How you doing, man?
I was a little sleepy earlier today, but I just need some energy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. You know how it goes, man. Just long week. Well, we got lots to talk about today. Gamescom is still going on. Lots of announcements. Well, not really announcements, just more announcements to games that we already knew about. So why don't we get started with the news? RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
Okay, from RPG site, we've got more news from Alf. Chambers of the Four Kingdoms is coming to the PS4 and Nintendo Switch, and it's been pushed to 2021, probably because of these versions, but and COVID. But I'm guessing that they need extra time to do the ports, but
Yeah.
or they're just using that time to make ports.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's going to be still coming out for the Xbox One and PC, so don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Really cool little Diablo-like clone, it looks like. A little more colorful, but looks all right. Anything else, Eric?
I just hope that against all odds it ends up being better than whatever Diablo 4 ends up being.
Yeah. Slagar says why are games being pushed out? Probably because of COVID, Slagar, I'm guessing. Some of it has to do with timing and how other games are coming out and stuff like that. So they're just they're being a little overly cautious with where they're slotting.
They could probably take the time to do PS5 and Xbox One Series X.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a bunch of reasons, Slagar, but whatever. All right, break.
Coming to us live from RPG site, open world tactical RPG Tenderfoot Tactics, released for Steam. It's already out on October 21st for Steam. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
It'll be out on Thursday. Skipping ahead because we have a ton of news. I'm just going to read the features. Explore the archipelago to your heart's content, finding surprises.
Archipelago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To your heart's content, finding surprises along the way. No damage ranges or missed chances. Each attack makes a predicted amount of damage, so plan accordingly. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Evolve and customize your goblins, granting them different abilities. Each goblin is unique. Try out different party combinations. God, nothing pisses me off more than the missing one in attack.
Yeah.
Like, he's right fucking there. How the hell did you miss?
It's like right in front of you, you son of a bitch.
He is literally in the next block over.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Break. Slagar says COVID how? Well, I mean,
how not?
I mean, honestly, Slagar, like working from home is not exactly the easiest thing in the world. I mean, it's an adjustment, that's all. And that's not the only reason. I mean, like I said, there's other games and shit that they're trying to slot in, so that they can make the maximum amount of money. That's how it is. All right, anything else on that break?
Well, also they have to deal with shipping issues because of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, especially America right now is nobody wants to come to America right now because we're one of the worst countries in the world for fucking COVID.
180,000 people dead. So, I mean, that gives you...
Did I say one of?
Yeah,
the worst.
The worst.
We've been blacklisted by the EU because we're more likely to get them infected.
Yeah. I mean, if I lived outside of the United States, I would not visit right now. I mean, it's that bad.
I would not let people from the U.S. come here, and if people are visiting from or returning from the U.S., they're going to get quarantined.
I had a trip.
There are people here that have been straying in other parts of the world from Japan that lived in Japan and then went somewhere to visit. And now they're stuck wherever they are.
I had a trip planned to Las Vegas and I canceled. So that was coming up in a couple of weeks. I was going to be in Vegas, but it just that all that is bullshit.
If we had competent leadership, maybe this could have been dealt with months ago. But
yeah.
If we had competent leadership, if we had semi-competent leadership, you'd think that maybe at some point they would start to deal with it.
Yeah. Slagar
Trump
says
has yet to even deal with it.
Slagar said all that is bullshit. If anything, it should be faster. Slagar,
and you're really drunk if you're thinking like that.
Slagar, like honestly, man, like it's. I mean, the amount of pressure that's on the post office and UPS and FedEx and Amazon and all that stuff it's like 100 times worse, man. It's logistics. It just, the amount of stuff being shipped right now is insanely crazy. So, it's how it is, man. All the shipping outlets, man. And I'm not talking just the post office, man. Like it's it's not USPS, it's UPS, it's FedEx, it's however Amazon does their shit. Am I doing GameFly? I am not, Slagar.
I am, but I haven't returned my game that I rented yet.
I have.
It took me 2 months to get my.
I'm kind of pissing money away, so I kind of need to play it soon.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely a delay in shipping going on right now. COVID has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and Amazon is supposed to be 2 days, which I'm not complaining at all because I think there's too much pressure as it is for me to be bitching. But everything that I've been buying on Amazon, because I get that included in my phone service, I mean, has been way longer than 2 days. So there's definitely pressure there. So that's how it is.
And they need to prioritize medicine and things like. Well, did you see the news about all the baby chickens dying, for instance, to the mail?
I shipped a game through Media Mail, and even though that takes longer, they expect it. the expected delivery date for that was going to be sometime Monday.
Yeah, I mean,
Monday when
yeah.
I sent it out. So a week.
No, Slagar, you're right, dude. He says who buys non-digital games. Sometimes I mean
Walmart
I'm
shoppers.
I'm going more and more away from buying physical disc, but
Right.
Slagar, sometimes physical discs are cheaper than digital games. That's just how it is, and
It's not just that. Like, still the majority buy like physical copies of like the NES and Switch
It-
games, stuff like that, because
yeah.
it's still like the mothers and the grandparents out shopping for the kids at Meijer and Walmart and stuff like that.
Well, and not only that, look at how much gigabytes games are. And that, I can't buy a ton of digital games and download them all at once because it runs up against my fucking cap on my internet. So I just can't do that.
And I don't think Slicker. Don't misunderstand. It's like we're not like saying this is horrible. Like we prefer. I personally like digital a lot, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
I agree with you. I prefer digital as well. I mean, I most of my movies are digital. I do like digital better, but it's
getting off the couch. I don't want to put a new disc in.
Yeah.
Like if it's not on my drive, I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I'm just saying.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next story because we got tons to go, guys.
Also, Waylon buys a lot of physical stuff.
Yeah. Magic School RPG Inkenfell launches for PC on October 8th, and there was a little trailer that I played, and I don't think I have to do more than that other than it's inspired by the Mario and Luigi series. So, all right, there you go. Eric, next story, please.
Excuse me. Next story is Genshin Impact has a date for September 28th for PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
And this says the PlayStation 4 has a few extra goodies available. It says PlayStation players will get access to a Sword of Dissension weapon. This is if you get it digitally, I think. Because it is a free-to-play game. So,
The Sword of Deception.
well, I guess this is something PSN's doing exclusively. But, anyways, seem to be useful for those starting out their adventure as it has a chance to deal additional damage to nearby enemies. So, it can get you a leg up until you're strong enough to not need it anymore.
Yeah. It looks like a pretty game. Pretty open world RPG. So, there you go. All right, anything else, Eric?
Nope, that's about it.
All right, Break, you're up.
Coming to us live from RPG site. Ys 9 Monstrum Nox launches on February 2nd in North America, February 5th in Europe for the PlayStation 4, with PC and Switch versions to launch in the summer of 2021.
Oh, all right.
Not to
There
be
you go.
There you go, that was on the heading.
The game should not be confused with the title that's simply just called Monstrum.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to compare that to the first paragraph. NIS America has announced that Ys 9 Monstrum Nox will launch on February 2nd in North America, February 5th in Europe, and February 12th in Oceania for PlayStation 4. The Switch and PC Steam GOG versions will follow in summer 2021. So literally, the only thing they added was the February 12th date for Oceania in the first paragraph.
I mean, when you're desperate to write articles, Breakman, that's how you do, man. Another great-looking RPG action game. Ys has always been great, so this should be.
Slager's saying the Switch, there's price gouging on that, but that should be being alleviated because apparently it's getting easier for Nintendo to make shipments and get all the parts.
Yeah, should be is the key word, but I agree with Slagar. They do.
Well, there are still the problems of people who have done like bot selling or bot buying on like Amazon and places like that. So as soon as some of these stores get shipments in, they're already bought out. Which is fucking ridiculous. But you are right. Nintendo is making waves on getting shipments out.
Yep.
But I think it's still going to be maybe a month before we're like.
Yep. You know what else is making
getting
waves?
Back to normal shipment stock.
Yeah.
You know what else is making waves, guys? World of Warcraft Shadowlands launches on October 27th. Comes to us from RPGsite.net. So Gamescom revealed that Shadowlands, the 8th expansion, will launch on October 27th.
I want to talk to somebody who's still playing that game.
Slagar apparently is still playing that game, man. You could talk to him.
Well, compared to WoW, how about Guild Wars?
There are still people playing Guild Wars, man, for sure. But so there you go. I did see some of the footage of this. It looks Looks really good.
Well, Guild Wars I can get because you don't pay monthly for Guild Wars, but you're still paying monthly for WoW. Like, you're giving them a fortune.
Yeah, I'm surprised WoW hasn't gone free to play yet.
Honestly,
like all their expansions, they should give you if you're paying for them monthly.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with you, Breakman, but in fairness to Warcraft, man, like they seem to do the MMO thing right, man. Like
don't get me wrong, I loved it. I played it for 2 years straight.
Yeah, no.
And then I think I paid for it for like 3 years straight.
Yeah. No,
it looks. I was, I'm gonna play it again. Well, I should cancel I don't want to cancel because I might play it again.
Yeah.
I did that for like a year.
Yeah, I know, man. That's how like Netflix is for me right now. I haven't been able to watch much on Netflix, and I'm paying for it. And I'm like, God, there's stuff that I need to see on there, but it's like I haven't. It's kind of one of those things where I'm thinking of dropping. And
are you gonna watch JoJo's?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch. That's on my list. JoJo's on my list. Couple other things.
Fortunately, only the first 3 seasons are available. Seasons 4 and 5 are not on there because 5's not being dubbed, so that won't be on there until that happens.
Yeah, of course.
But 4 is. I don't know what's going on with 4.
Of course, just when I think about getting rid of it, Castlevania will come up, and then I'll be like, nope, I gotta watch Castlevania, Okay,
let's added Cobra Kai, which I've been wanting to see. So
yeah, same here. That's another one that I need to add. There's a bunch of zombie fucking TV series, stuff like that. All right, Eric, what do we got next?
Okay, from RPG site, we've got a game called Tinkertown.
Yeah. And
it is a sandbox multiplayer RPG, which is the first title developed internally for the indie publisher, which is named Head Up. Anyways, the game is set to launch via Steam Early Access this fall, and a public demo will be available. Actually, it's available now because it was available yesterday.
It looks good, man. Looks like a little Minecrafty, kind of farm sim type deal. So,
but it's got a pixel art style and procedurally generated open world.
Yeah, I don't like the procedural generated shit, but
But for sandboxy stuff, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Dungeon's in chat. He says I really need to catch up with my next Netflix list. Same here, Dungeon. Once I get caught up, I can maybe get rid of that service, man. I remember when Hulu was free. I remember that too. All the old stuff I could watch. Then they had to pay the bills, of course. Of course they do, man. So yeah, Tinkertown. Anything else on that, Eric?
Nah. That's
right.
it. Pretty
Break,
much.
you're up.
What? Are we doing what?
Right after Tinkertown.
The
Broken Roads.
The what? The story after the sorry, the page was loading because I was stalling. Post-apocalyptic CRPG Broken Roads gets a pre-alpha showreel and Steam page in time for Gamescom, and we talked to them.
Yes,
and, we loved the idea of this game. Well, at least I did.
Yeah, no, we all did.
Speaking for Eric now.
Yeah.
Nobody. He's not gonna say anything. He's gonna let me say that.
Yeah, they love when you stall, break. We all know when you do it, man. It's pretty fun. But yeah, we did talk to Drop Air Bites about.
I was like, I thought it was gonna load for a second, and I'm gonna stop. Damn it, it's still not loading.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so far, Broken Roads is set for release in 2021, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Hopefully, we can get to talk to him again sometime before that.
I'm sure we could get him on again, Eric. You should get on that, man. Let's get Drop Air back on to talk more Broken Roads because we did talk to the guys and it looks good, man. We all were in agreement.
So are you telling me I need to play a pre-alpha now?
Yeah, for sure. We need alphas, man. Their Discord is always.
I don't like playing like pre-beta anything because it's not a good representation of the game.
Yeah, but you can still get a good deal.
It's not like I'm getting paid to do Q&A.
Yeah. Dungeon says their Discord is always busy. Definitely looking forward to Broken Road. See, yeah, we're looking forward to it as well, Dungeon. Are we pushing for any particular next console? That's from Slagar. Slagar, I'm getting both. But I mean, since Halo was pushed back, I'm not in a hurry to get the Xbox. I mean, once Halo comes out, it's a no-brainer for me to get the Xbox. But I put my name in the hat for the PS5, and I will definitely, if I get a chance to get the PS5, I'm definitely getting the PS5. I am getting the disc drive one, not the all digital one as much as I would like. I just have way too many PS4 games on physical to, Plus the like I was looking at the specs of Call of Duty. It's 100 gigabytes, man. So like I said, like downloading 100 gigabytes is not in my best interest right now. So
at least it's not the 200 that
Whoa, hold on. We gotta kick Sluggar out of chat.
Why?
What's that thing that you do all the time? Go ahead and do it.
Exiled Slagar. He says no, it's not the only reason, man. There's other games, but Halo's obviously Halo's the big draw, man. I have to get that system, man. I do like Halo, even though I suck at it, badly. But and I like the power specs of the Xbox and all that stuff too, and it does have a good Game Pass thing going on. So there's stuff that I'm definitely need to get it, but the PS5 is definitely my priority, no question. Dungeon says I'm definitely getting a PS5 for the exclusives, but the new Xbox looking great too. This size for the current Call of Duty is insane. 100 gigabytes, dude. That's like a tenth of my data, and I gotta stream movies and everything else.
I didn't even know they made Blu-ray discs that large.
Yes, they do. Well, 4K disc for sure. It's like the Galactus of hard drives. Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. Okay, next comes to us from RPGsite.net. Taiko, I wish I would have given this one to break, man. I'm going to fuck all this up. Taiko no Tatsujin. Rhythmic Adventure Pack is a compilation of 2 rhythm RPGs set to release for Nintendo Switch this winter. So no real date, just know that it's coming out this winter.
They used to be 3DS games.
Yeah, I'm going to just do the quick little features. Double the drumming, double the fun. 2 Taiko no Tatsujin games never before released in the West. Prepare for Battle RPG modes offers action-packed taiko drumming battles. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Build a drumming team and encore. So there you go. Slagar says exclusive. What? Ratchet? Ratchet? Yes, Ratchet for sure. Definitely looking forward to Ratchet and Clank. Spider-Man Miles Morales. God of War's coming out next year. Horizon Zero Dawn, like Slagar, like honestly, PlayStation has it all over right now with exclusives.
They have tons of exclusives. I can't argue with that. I just don't like exclusives. I'm sick of having to buy a different console just to play a different game.
I agree, man, but it's the world we live in, Break. You got to do what you got to do, man. Yep.
It wasn't as bad back when it was just 2 of them, really, but.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing with Nintendo. You can't play Mario on any of the other systems. You can't play Zelda on the. That's just the way it is.
I know. Like I said, I'm sick of it. I want Mario. I'd like to be able to play Mario on an Xbox.
Yeah, I agree, but I
would like people to be able to play Halo on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling we'll be back down to 2 consoles next generation, whatever 2 those will be. But that's for a different day. All right, Eric, what do we got next?
You got. Stupid pop-up links. We got the collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend, which is a mouthful. Well, they could have taken the opportunity to call it the Final Fantasy Legend collection.
Yeah.
Because people know what those games are, but they are the Saga games. The Final Fantasy there was just there to sell it, even though Sunsoft was the publisher of those games. But because that was a time period where Square was still a very small company and even smaller in the West. But anyways, they originally released the Game Boy in 1989 to 1991, and they'll release digital only. Well, at least in the West, December 15th on the eShop.
Yeah. Okay. Cool deal. Slagar says, Mario on Xbox? I'd shoot the place up.
Like
Dungeon says
Mario
also the
games.
Persona series. Yeah, for sure, Dungeon. There's so many RPGs, man, on the PlayStation that it's kind of... It's a
Persona's
no-brainer.
not really exclusive, though. It just kind of, sort of is right now.
Yeah. All right, Break.
There are time-delayed exclusives for both systems, but there's also just developers don't have the budget to put it on more than one system.
Yeah, that's true, too. All right, Break. What do you got next?
We've got coming to us live from RPG side. God damn it! Monster Rancher 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch in Japan on September 17th. Really, for all that, that's what took forever, you fucking prick. As reported previously during the first reveal, the Monster Rancher 2 port will retain the online CD database used to generate monsters to make up the lack of a CD drive on the Switch. It also retains the Slate system to generate monsters from save data of Monster Rancher 1's port on the same platform, while including the part-time job minigame that was available through the Pocket Station in the original Japanese PlayStation release.
All right, so if you're a Monster Rancher fan, that's going to be for you, for sure. Dungeon says, I'd play Master Chief Mario Brothers. That would be interesting.
Spoiler alert, Master Chief is coming to the Smash Brothers.
Yeah, oh man, that would be kind of cool. I mean, how many people would buy Smash Brothers if that happened, man? All right, let's move on to the next story from RPGsite.net. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory launches on November 11th in Japan. Jesus Christ, how many more of these games are we going to get? So it was kind of a surprise. Launched November 3rd.
Forever Kingdom Hearts games.
I know. Oh, I remember talking about this as the rhythm-based game. Looks fun. I mean, I'd play it probably. You know, it's one of those.
It's just basically theater rhythm for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
They
For
just
sure.
dropped the branding of theater rhythm.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, what do we got next?
We've got Altalia Rises hitting the 500K mark.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's a number that they can be very, very pleased with. So there you go.
That's
Ne-
wild.
yeah. All right, Break. What do we got next?
Oh, God, I'm sorry, I wasn't being snide at all. Coming to us live from RPG site. Chained Echoes is a 16-bit style fantasy RPG with mechs to be showcased at the Gamescom Indie Arena booth online set in the fourth quarter of 2021 for release. Well, that's way off. I don't think we really need to talk any more about this then.
Yeah, but this is interesting because it looks like it's
Okay, I'll read it then. Fine. Okay. Chained Echoes. I'll skip that paragraph. Chained Echoes is a story-driven, turn-based RPG inspired by the classics, featuring customizable airships and mechs. Ooh, customizable. I like that.
Yeah.
There are no random encounters. Instead, each fight will be seen during exploration.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that too.
You know what I find interesting about this game, Break? It looks like one person developed this game. One.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure there's like a team, but like he's probably the only programmer.
Yeah.
The key features of the game are 20 to 25 hours of playtime, or 70 if you're Frank. Fast-paced turn-based battles, no random encounters. Enemies can be seen running around. Tons of items to be looted, stolen, or crafted. Ooh, I like stealing. Complex skill and equipment systems. I mean, on games, not in real life. Don't like that. Customize your own airship. I like that. Travel and fight by foot or in your mech. Why would I walk if I had a fucking mech?
Exactly.
16-bit.
Mech probably takes fuel.
I wouldn't walk to the grocery store if I had a mech. Like, they would have to make the door fucking wider to fit my mech. God damn it.
Yeah, otherwise you'd sue their asses, Break.
Right, exactly. This is mech discrimination. Music inspired by PSX RPGs.
Yeah. No, it looks really, really good. That's what caught my eye about this game, Break. Like it's a traditional turn-based, but no random encounters. Slagar says Kingdom Hearts MMO. One person that hates random encounters. I didn't mind them, except if they were like, you know, of the Dragon Warrior type, where every 2 steps you're running into a random encounter. But I do like the fact that you see enemies on the, screen.
As
and
a
stuff.
kid, I was okay with that, but you know,
Sounds like it's
grown
more like
past
Chrono
random
Trigger, where the enemies
Yeah.
are just hanging out in a certain location. And
Yeah,
you'll fight them.
we've kind of. You're right, Break. We've kind of grown way past that. So, I door dashed my mech. Slagar says, Freak 5 is up. He says, "What's up, my grinders? What's up, Freak 5? How you doing, man? Welcome to chat. Glad I haven't exiled you yet. Usually, first comment gets an exile. So there you go. Okay, next story.
You were supposed to exile Slagar for me. You did that, right?
For what?
For insulting Halo.
Oh, that was earlier. Yeah, I exiled Slagar earlier.
Okay, good.
Okay, we were talking about Guild Wars earlier. Guild Wars 2 is coming to Steam November. End of Dragons expansion teaser. So there's.
They only just now got on Steam. Why?
I know, it's so weird. But Guild Wars, you don't have to pay that monthly fee. That's what the attraction is to that game for sure. So.
Which is what I said before. I get that why people still want to play that, but. I just, after you've paid like hundreds of dollars to play one video game, don't you kind of just want to be like, I don't want to keep investing in this. Like, this is throwing money away.
The only game that I ever did that was fucking SingStar, and then they closed the servers for that, man. It's like, it's like you can't buy any more songs. It's like, I was so disappointed. I went to download SingStar and, buy a few games, and they just totally ended it. I'm like, fuck.
I might actually play Final Fantasy 14 up through Heaven's Word just because it's free.
Yeah. Freak 5 says 2020 is better than DQ8, and he promptly gets his first exile.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah. Exiled.
I don't even agree with that one, man. Like, that's the lowest bar you've possibly ever set.
Yeah. Hey, did you do that last story break, or was it Eric?
It was me.
It was.
Okay. Then it's up to you.
Frank did it. Well, okay, we're on the Necromancer one?
Yes.
Oh, I did Chain Echoes, then Frank did Teal Burst too, so it's your turn.
Okay. Coming to us live from RPG site. Sword of the Necromancer is an action RPG roguelike to be showcased at the Gamescom Indie Arena booth online, set to release this fall. There you go. In Sword of the Necromancer, you play as Tama, who hopes to revive Coco by finding the titular sword. The game is roguelike in structure, meaning the player will progress through the dungeon until they are felled by monsters. Who wrote this?
You guys excited for Beavis and Butthead on Comedy Central? I am.
Yeah. I would not be excited for Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
So felled by monsters. The player will then restart from the beginning with no equipment, but having maintained half their current level. The game features a system where you can revive defeated enemies, fight alongside you, as well as local two-player cooperative mode. I don't like that half the level, because you can get stuck at a certain point, and then you keep having your level and having your level and having your level. It's like, I don't want to go back and play this again.
I like the idea of like maybe half your gold or something like that, but the leveling is, that's a little bit too much. I guess it's better than permadeath though,
Well, I don't know. Maybe they also scale the enemies. So
just get good, Breakman. That's what
I know. I'm sorry. I failed.
All right, let's move on to the next story. If I can get my thing loaded up here.
It's better than other roguelikes where if you die, then you have to start over from level 1. And
that's
lose
true.
All your items.
That is true. Not sure about. Slager says not sure about Beavis, but Ren and Stimpy, yeah, I like both.
Now
man.
You need to ban him again. He's not sure about Beavis. What is wrong with him today?
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, man. I love Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. I'm not gonna exile from that because everybody has their own opinions, man.
Well, it's the wrong opinion, and he needs to be punished.
Well, go for it, man. You have my permission, Breakman.
I don't care about either of those two shows.
Well, how dare you?
Well, your opinion is wrong too. You need to be punished.
I never said I never liked Beavis and Butthead, but I liked it like back when I was a teenager.
Well, it can still be good now, man. So there you go.
Yeah, I kind of grew out of that stuff.
Well, I didn't. So how about that? All right, next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Project Haven is a tactical turn-based RPG to be showcased at Gamescom Indie Arena booth online with the playable alpha demo. It looks good, man. Like I didn't get a chance to see the vids before, as my dog is freaking out for some dumb reason. But it looks pretty good. So there you go. All right. Anything else on that, Eric? Project Haven.
I can imagine Slager's Mr. Anderson talking to us.
Slagar says, you youngsters weren't allowed to my Beavis and Butthead, allowed to be at my Beavis and Butthead parties.
You youngsters aren't allowed to be at my. Well, you're not allowed to be here.
Were you two whacking off my shed again? You know. Quit lying, Frank. We know you hate Beavis and Butthead. They keep whacking off in your tool shed. I already said that, Freak 5. So there you go. Was it you two whacking off my tool shed? I love that show, man. So good. All right.
Project Haven.
No, I already talked about Project Haven, Eric. Next story.
Okay. Next story is then Battle Hunters, which is a real-time tactical RPG, and it's for the Nintendo Switch and PC, and it's coming out on October. No real date, so I guess whenever they get it approved.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I mean, it's definitely got a different art style.
It kind of reminds me of the art style that was used for Vandal Hearts, the Flames of Retribution, or whatever it was called for the PS3, which is really weird because, like, I don't even think the original team that made the first two Vandal Hearts games worked on it. It felt like a Western-developed project with the name attached to it.
Yeah. Freak 5 is exiled again. He says, your dog's freaking out because your dog wants some peanut butter without being spread on your nuts. How dare you, Freak 5?
I'm surprised you didn't have him executed for that.
I had him exiled. I don't do executions on the show, man. I mean,
I think the funniest thing in this is that the logo on the clip, thumbnail clip of the video on here.
Yeah.
It has a dude that kind of looks like a mix between Man-at-Arms and Samus.
Yeah. It looks cool. It's got a nice, nifty little art style, like I said. So, all right, Break, you're up. What do we got?
The best name game coming to a smart RPG site, Yakuza Like a Dragon, launches on November 13th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah.
That's the best named game.
And if it's to be believed, that's also the launch date of the Xbox Series X versions and PS5 versions, because those will probably be the launch date.
Yeah.
For those consoles.
I mean, it looks good. I mean, I'm down for this game. I mean, the Yakuza games are great. I still have to finish the ones on the PS4, but yeah, I'm totally down for this game. It's a turn-based RPG, apparently. So,
Like a Dragon. I love that title. Sega released a new trailer highlighting the game's combat and job system, where Ichiban and his crew take the role of various professions, such as breakdancer, idol, chef, musician, and more. There are more than 20 such jobs found in the game. Ichiban is a fan of classic RPGs, and so he envisions his skirmishes as tough everything. Sorry, let's start over. So he envisions his skirmishes as tough everything acts in turn-based style this time around. That's pretty cool.
You know what looks really cool about this trailer is, like, you could be like a chef, like they said, and like use like a frying pan as a weapon. It looks fucking awesome, man. This game looks great. It looks really, really good. Really, really good. Freak Pie says, I told my wife last night that the next male dog we get, I'm going to name him Lieutenant Dan. So after he's neutered, when he licks his crotch, I will say, but you ain't got no balls, Lieutenant Dan. Oh, Freak 5, man. Freak 5. All right, next story comes to us from, a lot of news stories today, guys. It's about Gotham Knights. Come to us from RPGsite.net. My dog won't fucking leave me alone. Leave me alone, dog. Jesus Christ. Open world cooperative action RPG Gotham Knights announced for PS5, PS4, Series X, Xbox One, and PC. It'll be on Switch later. Batman's dead. It's up to Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin to protect Gotham City. The game can be played single or in two-person online co-op. Each of the four characters has a variety of moves, gear, weapons, customizable appearances. There's a debut trailer, and I can tell you honestly, guys, it looks really good. Even though I'm not a big Warner Brothers fan, it looks good. It looks damn fine.
And wait for the reveal at the end. Batman faked his death the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. Batman rise from the grave. You know. that type of thing. But the gameplay looks fantastic. It looks really good, man. I mean, what can you say? All right, Eric, you do the next story.
Next story is Trials of Mana sold above expectations, but Square is also a completely clueless company, and they didn't realize how starved for a good Mana game there was, because they usually treat the game series like crap.
Oh man, Freak 5, man.
Subpar stuff.
Freak 5's double exile. He says, "Clean the peanut butter off your balls, and your dog will leave you alone." How dare you, son of a bitch!
He's trying to be helpful.
Yeah, helpful my ass.
Like the article is like it took an excerpt from an interview that they had, but there are no hard sales numbers, so that's why we can't list them here.
Yeah. But of course, Square Enix is not happy. They think it should have done triple that amount, whatever it was, but whatever. All right, Break, you get the honor of the last story.
Coming to us live from Gamatsu, Turrican Anthology Volume 1 and 2 announced for PS4 and Switch. The anthology includes Turrican for the Amiga, Turrican 2 for the Amiga, Super Turrican for the Super Nintendo, Super Turrican Director's Cut for the Super Nintendo, Mega Turrican Score Attack for the Mega Drive, and Anthology 2 includes the Turrican 3 for Amiga, Mega Turrican for Mega Drive, Mega Turrican Director's Cut for Mega Drive, Super Turrican 2 for Super NES, and Super Turrican 1 Score Attack for the Super NES.
Yeah, Turrican making a comeback, man. I wish
the Director's Cut versions of the games are like tweaked versions of the originals, because they never released them. It's more like we fixed the game a little.
Yeah,
you can play the original one.
I wish they would have came out with a new Turrican along with it. That would have been really cool.
Well, that's probably what this is all about, though.
Yeah. Slagar says the Robin is Tim Drake. Yeah, there you go. It looks good, man. I'm down for Turrican, man. Turrican's good stuff. Real fluid, shooter, fun stuff. Okay.
I think it's weird that the Nightwing, Robin, and the Red Hood are there, but is Red Robin there? I can't remember.
No, it's Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl. Yeah.
Did you say Red Robin?
No,
I'm surprised Red Robin isn't there, though.
Yeah.
So.
Dungeon says Turrican for everyone. Yeah, exactly, Dungeon. I'm excited, man. Turrican was an underrated, kind of side-scrolling shooter, man. It's good stuff. Freak5 says earlier this week when I was trolling someone's Facebook Live, they got angry, pointed their gun at the phone's camera. I'm not sure if they shot their phone, but the stream ended right after that. Wow. That's something else, Freak5.
Well done, sir. I applaud you.
Well done. Yes, well done. Red Robin sounds good. Red Robin. Okay.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Go there if you want super huge burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, and their fries are so good too.
Yeah. I can't eat burgers anymore. I've talked about it on the show, but yeah, the Red Robin.
Well, then I'll eat yours. That's cool.
Yep, you're fine. You can have it. That person needed a hug, Dungeon said. Dungeon is like one of the nicest people ever. Like, I always hate like exiling Dungeon in chat for some reason. I always feel bad. Like Freak5 I could exile all day, but like Dungeon, like I just have a hard time. Dungeon is like the hug of RPGrinders. That's what I'm gonna say.
The Kirby of RPGrinders.
Yeah, he's like the Kirby of RPGrinders. Exactly. That's a good analogy, man. Although he doesn't eat everybody,
He eats all the games instead.
Yeah, exactly. All right, homie discounts. There's still that PS Plus deal for $32, or I don't know what it is now. It's always around 32, 34. Nintendo does have an excellent sale going on right now. That, like, one of the things I saw was the treasure trove of what's that game called, Eric?
Shovel Knight
Treasure Trove is like $27 or something, which is a fantastic deal for all the stuff you get with that. Yeah, so there you go. And Xbox and PlayStation obviously got their, end of summer sales type things going on. So there you go. Breakman, should I hit your music?
No.
Wow, nothing for Breakman this week. Okay, well then, send Breakman stuff at RPGrinders. He's more than happy to give you sex advice on the show and,
I mean, you
stuff like
guys
that.
don't want me to cry, do you?
Plus, you don't want him to cry. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's move on to...
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Let me see. What have I been playing? Well, you mentioned that there was a end of summer sale going on with Xbox and PlayStation, stuff like that. And I was looking through them, and they gave me like a $5 coupon, so I was looking through for games less than $5 because I'm a cheap bastard.
You really are a cheapo, man. You couldn't have got a $10 game for $5.
Well, see, that's the thing is I was looking through them, and I saw a game that I did want was $10, and I'm like, shit. Okay, fine. So this week I've spent playing Injustice 2.
Oh, nice, man. That's a good pickup for sure. Did you get the Ultimate Edition or?
No, I don't have all the I don't have the Ninja Turtles or any of that.
No.
I might get that at some point to just I don't know, just see it, and they probably have their own storylines added and stuff like that. But just I'm having a lot of fun with it. A large selection of characters that kind of never thought you'd see in video games. For like Firestorm is a character I never thought would. Of course, the Flash brought him back. Really, before that he was just like really obscure. Nobody even heard of him anymore and stuff like that. But like that's a fun fighting game. And I wish Wyland was in here because I think when the Injustice 2 first came out, there were a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But that's why I like waiting for games. I get them when they're in perfect working order.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
And it's a fun game. And if people don't know, it's the evil Superman storyline where Batman's trying to save the world against evil Superman in the first game. In the sequel, Brainiac's come to town, and Superman's in prison, and Batman's got to figure out how to beat Brainiac without Superman.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Real quickly in chat, Freak5, I bought the 3rd bottle of Johnny Walker Game of Thrones themed whiskey, so I'll be doing a taste test later. Song of Ice. Dungeon said, played a few hours of the New World MMO preview from Amazon. It's kind of interesting, but I feel I've already hit the point where it gets really grindy. Yeah. Freak5 said, I've been playing Fairy Tail, Animal Crossing, Friday the 13th, Fall Guys, and Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that's interesting you brought up Fall Guys, man. That's a good fun game. I was going to tell you guys, there are more people in chat. Let me check out who else is in there. Commander Root joined us. Hey, is it in yet? Is in chat. Never thought I'd say that.
That is not what you want to hear.
Lurks is in chat. Welcome, all you guys. Hey, another thing real quick. If you guys are in chat and haven't followed us on Twitch, go ahead and do so. We're 4 away from being an official affiliate of Twitch, which is outstanding. So we're 4 away, 4 followers away on Twitch from being an official affiliate of Twitch. So if you guys haven't already followed us on Twitch, go ahead and do so. And if you're listening on archives, please do so. We just need 4 more. That's it. And I know these bastards in chat. I think Slagar's following us, but everybody else is just slagging behind. So, all right. What you been playing, Eric?
I've been playing a little bit of Color X Malice Unlimited, because I got done with Seven Scarlet, so I just moved on. I need to write a review for that and London Detective Mysterious, by the way, but that'll be soon. I got a couple other reviews on the pipeline, but other than that, I've been playing Dark Souls Remastered because I got the bug to play Dark Souls again because it was $20 on PSN during their sale, so I was like, sure, why not? And now I'm going for the platinum. That.
Yeah,
I'm playing as a mage because I didn't play as a mage. The very first time and the only time I had ever played Dark Souls was on the Switch, and I went with the Dex build for that one.
Yeah.
And I rocked the katana, the Uji katana.
Dungeon says second season of Fall Guys will be medieval themed with dragon and knight costumes, which, yeah, I did see that. It looks really cool. Freak5 says, I remember seeing a porn where the lady was getting pounded doggy style and she looked at her watch. She probably was like, yeah, hurry up. I need to pick up my kids from school, he said. Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, those porn stars, man, they're like, so used to all that shit. They're just like, come on, get it over with. Let's go here. Give me my paycheck. Let's go. All right, anything else you've been playing, Eric?
No, just those.
All right. I haven't really played much this week, just MPQ. I'm just now, like, today was like the first day I felt better in like 2.5 weeks, man. Like, this cold is, honestly, I think it's just because the air quality's been so bad that I can't get over
this
shit.
I played one thing else, but it's part of my review, so I didn't mention it.
That was probably my channel, Slagar says. There you go. All right. I'm sorry, Eric. Did you have something else to talk about?
No, the other game I played was part of my review, which is why I didn't mention it.
Yeah. Freak5 says, yeah, I haven't won a Fall Guys match either. It's because you suck, Freak5. It's plain and simple. Dungeon just hadn't won a match just out of circumstance, but Freak5, you just need to get better. Get good, as they say. All right, let's move on to
RPGrinders reviews.
Break, did you have a review this week?
No.
All right, Eric.
Go now.
Eric, your review of Dandara.
Dandara is a weird Metroidvania because you don't move around left and right like normal. You jump from place to place on different spots of soil that are covered in salt. And the salt is like, there's this whole thing with the salt in the game, and it's basically like a pillar of creation of sorts, I guess, in this world. And people were prosperous and stuff like that, and they eventually fell to ruin when some people got a little too greedy and stuff. So Dandara, the main character, was created to combat this threat. And there's only like 3 bosses in the main game, and there's 2, and there's the final boss, and there's 2 bosses in the DLC. And you can find upgrades like extra health or extra energy if you use your sub weapons. Like there's a missile sub weapon, and then there's a couple other sub weapons that I ended up not really using because I didn't find a practical use for them. But the one that lets you do shockwaves was pretty good. It just puts out a big orb in the middle of like the screen, a couple feet away from you, and it stays on the screen for a while, so it's a good way to do damage to an enemy. And you can launch a couple of those at once if you want to do even more. But you can get experience, which is the salt you collect. But so it's kind of like Dark Souls in that sense, like non-traditional level up systems with their own stats. They're other than like your health and then your energy and then your Estus flask like item called Essence Assault. And there's even stuff that recovers your energy. It lets you use it more often, but or is it more? I can't remember. I think the things you pick up are the ones that give you more, and the thing that you're upgrading is actually how much health you're getting back. Anyways, it's pretty fun. Also, when you die, you lose all the salt you collected up to that point. You have to go back to find it, or you can find. There's kind of like a Dark Souls element in the game, another Dark Souls element in the game where you can find other players that have died in locations and you can shoot their body to get their salt. I don't think that destroys their ability to get their own body back, but it helps other players out. It's not a very long game, and it's got a really interesting soundtrack. It is hard, but not so hard that it's Dark Souls hard. But you can get the hang of it after a couple tries of trying to fight the boss. But I didn't beat the DLC because I wanted to kind of move on, and I was like very close to the end anyway, and so I saw the ending online, and it was neat. But I did beat the main game, so I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10.
All right, that's a very good score for Dandara. Check it out. Slagar said Metroid should have been a day one game for the Switch. I agree, Slagar. They should have had their big hitters right off the bat. Freak Five's Exile. He's a son of a bitch. He says, you all remember my story about my wife's new car? Yeah. Is there an update to that, Freak Five? All right. Let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
There are about 500 Stinkos.
Well, let's narrow it down a little bit, man.
Okay, let's see here. There's a hurricane pounding the East Coast. That sucks. Let me see. Joe Ruby died. That sucks too.
Yeah, the creator of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Ruby and Spears fame. Let me see here. Let me see here. Another black unarmed man shot in the back by police.
7 times.
Yeah. Unarmed and shot in the back.
Yep, of course. Because he was going into his car. I mean, you're black going into a car is a crime, apparently. So, you know.
You didn't know that?
Apparently.
It's illegal to be black and be
and also, I don't know if you knew this, Breakman. He was also so he's paralyzed. He lived through surgery, and they had him handcuffed.
Thank God he lived, not that he's paralyzed.
Yeah, and they handcuffed him to his bed, which they finally let him go, but still. I mean, where was he going to go? He's fucking paralyzed. You know, it's so stupid.
Right.
But all right.
And Slegar in chat says he also created Scrappy Doo, so it's okay.
And he created or founded the studio that gave us the Ruby Spears Mega Man double track cartoons.
Did he do Scrappy Doo? Because I thought he'd quit after the first season of Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
He might have came up with the character and then they did something with him later.
Oh my God, Freak Five, that's a horrific story.
Because I know him and Spears sold Scooby Doo to I forget who they sold it to.
Hanna-Barbera.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Right, you're right, Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
And then they went to Disney for a while and ABC, and then they did their own thing. They're Ruby and Spears, obviously.
All
But so he died, and that's sad. And then also we have a teenager who was encouraged, I guess his probably entire life, that machine guns are all right, and that you should go shoot people if they're breaking windows and stuff like that.
I don't understand this. Like, people get up in arms when property gets damaged, right? But a human life is taken or almost taken, and nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, it's such a weird double standard.
What he said, Chow, sorry.
Hanna-Barbera, yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand it, Breakman. Like, we put such an emphasis on corporations and property and business that we don't give a fuck about people, right?
And this is a 17-year-old kid. Like, he had nothing to do with that there, but like what was going on downtown. But now this kid's life is ruined. He killed 2 people. Their lives are obviously their lives are gone, but their families' lives are ruined. And this because he had an assault rifle and he's going downtown. But why aren't his parents arrested for this? Because they've obviously raised him with the mentality that it's okay that assault rifles are good and that people killing is good.
I'm actually a Second Amendment proponent, Breakman. So I don't much care that someone owns a gun. Like, that's not my focus.
I don't see a reason for a 17-year-old to have an assault rifle.
I agree with you, man. Like, I think there should be limits. Like for instance, if you want to own a handgun, so be it. You know, like a revolver, for instance. You know, you put 6 bullets in a revolver, and the amount of damage that can be done is obviously devastating from a gun, but it's not like one of these assault rifles that, you know, you hold the trigger for a second and like 3, 4, 10 bullets comes out. You know, it's like I never understood the need for that. And then people always say, well, hunters. I'm like, hunters really need that much fucking bullet power to take down a buck? Really? I mean, I could kill a buck with a fucking bow and arrow. You know, I mean,
I was gonna say, like, why don't they be real, like, hunters and do it with something that makes it more fair, like a bow and arrow or something, or like using guns. It's like if we're starving and, you know,
yeah, Slagar
last
says
meal or whatever,
yeah.
you're fighting for a meal, it'd be one thing. But when you're just
Yeah.
doing it for the fun of it or sport,
yeah. Slager says something absolutely correct. He says it's illegal already for a 17 to own an assault rifle. That's true too, but here's the problem, Slagar. They let him walk. They didn't arrest him till the next day, and you know damn well if that had been a black guy that had shot a couple people and went up to the cops with a fucking assault rifle, that I don't care if he was 17, 34, 65, that motherfucker would have been 6 feet under right now. I mean, I'm telling you.
Right, technically speaking, but parents can give privileges to children.
Yeah. Well, those privileges.
And in this case, I'm betting they bought him the guns, or with his allowance and money and stuff like that, they took him to the gun store so he could buy them.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous.
What is this, like some kind of honor system bullshit?
Yeah. That's not the problem. It's a problem. You're right too, Slagar. There's multiple problems involved in that whole scenario. The parents, Breakman brought it up. The fact that he had a gun, and the fact that he was, you know, trained. I mean, because there's no other way to put it. He was trained to be a killer. I mean, otherwise, I mean, any normal, rational person, you think it's okay just to go into he shot somebody in the fucking head. I mean, the nerve and the fucking guts of that kid. You know what I mean?
Like, we got to go downtown and we got to protect the stores and the businesses and stuff like that. Like, I thought you people believed in the cops and trusted the police and stuff.
Yeah.
Because this kid was training to be a police officer.
Yeah.
That was his goal in life, was to work for the police. Like, this is... Like, they don't make any goddamn sense. Do you want the militias or do you want the police?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, Freak Fight says if it would have been...
Pick one, you can't have both.
Yeah, if it had been a black man with a gun near a place where gunfire had been heard, I said that, Freak Five. Like, if it would have been a black or brown guy, like if I were to have done the same thing and walked near cops, the cops would have shot me fucking 50 times, man. It wouldn't have even been, you know... it's crazy, the big double standard that's out there, man. It's just, I don't get it. And Slagar's right too, man. It's just one part of the problem. There's like so many problems with that whole...
Well, another part of the problem is my other stinko goes to the report that was released by, God damn it, I wish I had it with me, saying the rates of white nationalists and racists in general has heavily increased as far as enrollment in the police force.
Oh yeah, no, there was a big there was an expose on that a couple of years back. We talked about Breakman, where, I mean, it's upwards of more than 50% of the police force is white supremacists.
So when they say that the cops aren't racist and stuff like that, well, like I was hearing one of those fucking, oh god, like I hate fucking the union reps. They're the fucking worst. The police unions are a fucking boys club of protecting the guilty. Yep. And all of us are not. All of us are the enemy to them, basically.
Preach on, Breakman. Couldn't have said it better.
So, anyway, I forgot what I was saying because I started bitching about something else.
Slagar says the 500 other gun dupes should have shot him in the face. That's a problem, Slagar. Like I said, I don't have a problem with people owning guns, but they don't use them in the proper, you know, context, man. They're all cowards. They're fucking...
They're going to protect private property, not their private property.
Right.
They're going to protect somebody else's private property.
Like, when does property... This is something that I'll never understand. Like, when does property take precedence over someone's, like, life? You know what I mean?
When was it breaking a window? Why does somebody deserve to die for breaking a
window?
They
don't. That's the thing. They don't. You know? Let's see. My aunt, who's a cop, is making excuses why the cops didn't arrest him. She says in a chaotic situation, saying they just let him walk away was simplifying it. I showed her a video, no chaos, him walking towards the police quietly, and they just drove past him. And that's all they do. That's all the cops do, Freak 5. They just make excuses because it's one, like Breakman said, it's one big club and we ain't in it, you know? And they don't give a fuck.
The police union is, it gives all unions bad names, which is,
Yep.
you know, one of the problems with the irony of the police union is they're supporters of, in general, they're supporters of the Republican Party who wants to get rid of unions.
Yeah.
So they support their union, but nobody else's
union.
They don't want anybody else to have a union, but them.
Right. No, you're right. They think they're superior.
No, I mean, the Republicans think that they're the only ones that deserve health care. So
we just need to defund the police. I mean, it's just plain and simple. And then everybody says, well, what are we going to do without police and blah, blah, blah. It's not about...
They don't understand what defund means.
It's not about that. It's about alternative methods of policing. Like, there's different things we can do. I'm a big advocate of the, sending out counselors to, like, lesser crimes. Like, obviously, I don't want... like one of these counselors going to a murder scene or something like that, but like, there's such like mental health issues. Like there's a lot of like, mentally challenged people that get killed by police that, everything could have been, kind of settled without having any guns involved. It's just stupid. It's just dumb. I mean, there's other things too, I mean, like the cops, instead of like giving high fives to these assholes with these fucking, semi-automatic weapons, should be the same way all the way around, treat people the same.
There's videos like of cops like hailing all these guys showing up with machine guns, like giving them water and food and shit like that.
And giving them high fives and fist bumps and a lot of...
What in the fuck is going on? Like you were celebrating the guys who are armed and dangerous.
It's simple. Let me simplify it for you, Breakman. Cops are not our friends. That's it. Cops are not our friends. They are purely in it for themselves.
They're supposed to be in there to de-escalate situations.
They never do.
Cops don't do any. No. I don't see that happening.
Look,
when I see people getting shot in the back while walking away, or a shot in the back while walking, repeatedly shot in the back and walking away. How many times are we going to see videos of unarmed people?
Right,
mostly unarmed black men walking away.
I think it was Cleveland, Breakman, where a cop just rolled up in a park and shot I think it was a 12-year-old kid dead. Didn't even give...
years old,
yep.
And the cop shot him about 3 seconds. He got out of his car.
He didn't even get out. He shot him from in his car. He didn't get out. He didn't give the kid a chance. Just shoot,
And the defense, I've heard defense of this. Well, this cop is going to feel guilty for the rest of his life. Like, fuck this
off.
cop. He just killed somebody.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care if he feels guilty for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He should be punished for it. Because the family isn't getting their goddamn child back.
I agree. 100%. Slagar says...
He destroyed their lives.
Yeah, Slagar says, I got all these...
He should feel guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. He should be repentant and, remorseful to the family.
Jail, honestly.
He should be in jail. You're right. He should be in jail. All these fucking asshole cops should be in jail. Slagar says, I got all these auto guns, don't classify. I don't classify you in that, Slagar. You're not grabbing your guns and going in front of your house and like, pointing your guns at people. You're not...
like Frank said, he's a supporter of the Second Amendment, and my father-in-law, he has assault rifles.
Yeah.
And shotguns.
I don't own a gun, which is, I mean, you would think I would.
You're a supporter of the Second Amendment, and I'm saying we're not saying like anti-guns and attack. I know plenty of people that own guns.
Yeah.
I'm not attacking guns.
I just don't like the hunter excuse. I don't like the bullshit excuse of I need to protect my I've lived in the rough side of Denver for a good chunk of my life. I've never fucking once needed a gun to protect myself. I mean, don't give me this bullshit that you're protecting yourself and your property and your family and all this nonsense, because here's the thing. People in general are good. I know there's a lot of bad in the world, and there are rapes and there are murders and there are break-ins and stuff like that. But think about your life. If you've lived a long time, how many times did you actually need to point a gun at somebody? Like, it just doesn't happen. It's just not one of those things. It it just doesn't happen.
There's only one time in my life I wished I'd had a gun, and that's when a redneck was threatening me with a gun.
Yeah, I mean, there are situations like that.
Like, it was a fucking redneck piece of trash. Like, I've lived in the city and inner city my whole life, and I've never had a black guy, like, come up to me and shoot me or point a gun at me or anything like that. Like, it's just... the only time I've ever felt threatened is from the white guy, you know?
Slagar says something funny. He says, rough side of Denver, they don't show that on Monday. They never do, Slagar. But you know what's funny? Is just to the... If you ever watch football, Slagar, just to the west of where the stadium... a little bit south and west of the stadium is a pretty rough area of Denver. And you can see it sometimes from the camera angles, but you would never guess the way that they kind of frame things. So, you know, any other thing break before we...
But in that situation, you know, like it happened fast. So fortunately, I didn't have to call the police. But that's what I would have done, was call the police. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't. You.
Although if our government keeps trending the way it's going, where they try and take over, we might have to revolt, and that's a different story.
That's a whole different story, and I know where you're going with that. I don't see any scenario where revolting works, man. Like the military would fucking crush all of us. You know, it wouldn't even be.
The military today they had to announce this, which was just fucked up. Like, we're not going to do anything in the election. We're not going to interfere in any way. Like, so Trump can't, like, say, like, hell, protect me. I'm being, like, pulled out and shit like that.
I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. They were
if he loses the election, he is officially unemployed on January 21st, I think.
Yeah. I hope. I mean, I'm not a Biden fan at all. I'm not voting for him, but I mean, I'm not gonna cry if Trump loses. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know. But I want it to be a peaceful transfer of power. I don't want it to be where, you know, I don't want it to be where Donald Trump is taken out in handcuffs. But if that's what's necessary, then so fucking be it, man.
Like, when he's joking about. Like, he was early on joking about second term, third term, and stuff like that. Now he wants a redo of the first 4 years because he thinks he's been screwed, and lately he's saying 12 more years and shit like that. Like, he is telling everybody on this planet that he wants to rule this country for ever.
Yeah. Slagar says, we are a country because of a revolt. What the fuck? I 100% agree with you, Slagar, but think about it. If you had every citizen that owned a gun in this city rise up against the government because, let's say, Donald Trump doesn't want to get out of the White House, you honestly think that all of us stand a chance against our fucking military? Like, I mean, I guess it's a worthy cause of dying. You want to be on the front line of that? That's something that I don't know. I don't know if I have.
You know how the Americans won the Revolutionary War? Two things. One, we got the help from the French. Two, we played dirty.
That's true, man.
I'm serious. We played dirty. Look, so
that's all we have to do. We have to get our allies that we've alienated and convince them to liberate our country so the rest of the world can be saved.
Yeah. Freak 5, that is awesome. He says
the famous picture of Washington crossing the Delaware. You know what he did when he crossed the Delaware? Him and his troops murdered British soldiers in their sleep.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was kind of shit that the Americans did that went in the Revolutionary War. We played fucking dirty.
Of course. I mean, that warfare, anything goes in war, man. I mean, that's the way it is.
Back then it was different because the British played by the regular war rules. Like, they lined up the fight.
Right.
They wouldn't attack people at night, and there would be, like, accords to stop fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they didn't have drones. They didn't have drones that, you know, had like sophisticated like radar.
No, I'm not.
None of that. Freak Five says, because my mom and wife are immunocompromised, my kids and nieces and nephews won't be doing anything public for Halloween this year. Me and my sister both get a bonus in October, so we're going to use that to throw a party for them. I'm picking horror movies for the older kids. Any suggestions without too much nudity? I was going to say Slumber Party Massacre, but you know that throws that out the window.
Scream.
Scream is a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Scream's great.
Yeah, wait a minute. There isn't. Is there nudity in
Nope.
Scream?
No nudity in Scream, man. No nudity.
I mean, they take off their shirts, but that's all I really see.
Yeah. That's right,
Halloween.
she's just in a bra. Yeah.
Halloween's a good one. There is the one scene at the very beginning, but after that, there's. Oh wait, let's see. No, yeah. There's just the one scene in Halloween 1. There's one scene in Halloween 2. Very little nudity in Halloween 1 and 2, Freak 5, if you want to do that. And there's none in the new Halloween, so you can do that. None of the Friday the 13th, they all pretty much have nudity except for 6.
I wouldn't recommend any of those.
Except for 6. 6 oddly has no nudity, and it's a really good.
And Wes Craven's New Nightmare has none either.
Yeah, no nudity in. There's very little nudity in Nightmare on Elm Street. I think there's the one scene with Nancy, like you barely see her boobs. Like, I mean, it's nothing. Battle tactics: line up and attack each other like gentlemen. Exactly. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
That's a great one, Freak 5. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Dungeon says The Keep, spooky movie about World War II.
You can all watch Troll 2 and cringe.
Oh, speaking of a good, well, what about Dog Soldiers? Dog Soldiers, good kind of werewolf movie.
Tremors.
Tremors, a good one. The Gate's great. You know, stuff like that, man. Monster Squad. Yeah, Monster Squad.
That's not for adults. That's for kids, though. That's a kids movie.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's like.
I thought we were talking about high school kids.
No,
like,
well, I mean, dude, I like watching Monster Squad now, man. It's a good movie.
Did anybody like the fact
we were around when it first came out? For people for young kids, like they have a hard time watching like the older movies.
I guess. Gate 2. Is there a Gate 2? Leprechaun. Leprechaun's another good one.
What about the Faculty?
Faculty's a decent one, I'd say. I'd say that one's good for teens, for sure. Did very long time ago. Wasn't as fun.
Did you watch Disturbing Behavior at all?
I've seen it. I didn't like it too much, Eric. All right. Break. Anything else on your stinkos?
God, that was enough. You guys have got to get in here.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything for you, Eric, so I'll just go ahead. Real quickly, Rand Paul gets a stinko of the week because he's a crybaby.
I saw that video.
He was pretending like he was attacked or something, like he was going to get killed. And, I mean, he had to be escorted. I mean, get the fuck out of here, Rand Paul, you fucking crybaby sissy.
The next to him got shoved, and he's using that as, look at me getting attacked. Like, dude.
Yeah.
The guy next to you got attacked, and you're saying you got it? Oh, my God. Like, seriously?
Ghoulies a good one. Freak 5, that's a good one to show kids. Yeah.
These people want us to not believe our eyes, not believe our ears. They
exactly.
just want us to believe them.
He's such a wuss, man. Rand Paul's such a weenie, man. I don't know why he hasn't been voted out of office a long-ass time ago.
But I don't know why more of his neighbors haven't kicked his ass.
Yeah, his neighbor.
I know if I was his neighbor, I'd want to kick his ass.
His neighbor should have kicked his ass, man. Dungeon says the stuff. The stuff's a great suggestion, man. That's a good one, man. Good suggestion. I would say Freak 5 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's not a lot of gore in it, to be honest, and it's super scary. American Werewolf in London's a good one. All right, real quickly. Let's move on to our Sweetos.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweeto of the week.
All right, nothing on your front, Eric, so I'll go with Break. Your Sweeto of the week.
We talked maybe a month ago about the whole Confederate statue thing and all that. And I mean, and you guys said you want them in museums and not destroyed. Personally, I want them all destroyed because of what they are. But I'd be okay with them being put in like a museum. Like here, these are representations of hatred and stuff over the years. But don't
get me wrong, Break. If they happen to like be washed out to sea, I wouldn't feel bad at all. Man.
Well, Hurricane Laura says no to Confederate statues, and a statue that was recently voted on as a protected statue in North Carolina. Hurricane Laura said, "Fuck that shit," and destroyed it herself.
I saw that shit, man. That's fucking awesome, man. That's great. Really, really good.
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anything else, Break?
No, that's it.
Real quickly, Ratchet and Clank looks phenomenal. I saw the full demo yesterday on Gamescom in 4K glory, and it's shaping up to be really good. I think it was 60 frames per second. Same thing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is being touted as 4K 120 frames per second, which if we get time at the end of our tournament, I do want to talk about that. So, speaking of that... It's a free-for-all! Okay, guys, we are down to the final 8 of our tournament to determine the greatest N64 game of all time. We've got some fantastic matchups. We're down to the final 8. So why don't we get right into it, because we got a couple rounds to do here. Let's start with WWF No Mercy going up against Star Fox. And I'm going to start with you, Breakman.
No Mercy.
Any particular reason why?
Because it's the best wrestling customization system I've ever had, and one of the best multiplayer games I've ever played. You know, couch multiplayer, and just a fantastic game.
Okay, all right, very sound reasoning. What about you, Eric? Star Fox or at that time WWF No Mercy?
I'm not that big of a wrestling fan, but even if I was, I'm very much about rail shooters. So, Star Fox.
Okay, so it comes down to me. I think this time, I'm going to agree with Breakman. WWF No Mercy had a great customization aspect to it.
Customize all your moves, and you could make your character look like Goku, and they could do like Dragon Punch and shit like that. Like, it was just, and then you could obviously make characters from like the WCW and put them in there, and there's just so much fucking awesome shit about that game.
Yeah. Let's see. Just reading chat real quick. Freak5 says, Sweetos, it's payday. New Bill and Ted movie. Excellent. Dungeon Buster says, take them to the Iron Maiden. Bogus. Let's see. So, are you kidding? Slagar says. So, Slagar is very disappointed that Star Fox did not move on. So, we're going to keep continuing here. Let's see what happens, Slagar. Maybe you'll be a little bit happier next. Super Smash Brothers versus Star Wars Racer. I'm going to start with you, Eric.
Smash Brothers.
Okay, I'll go with you, Breakman.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers is going to be a clean sweep here. I don't think it's a question. Super Smash Brothers, the original's a great game. So we'll just go with that.
Slinger's out.
he's out. Okay, next one. I'll go first on this one, guys. Quake versus Mario Party 3.
I guess we couldn't let Star Fox do Star Fox.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna pick Mario Party 3 on this. I know Quake was a pretty damn good game on the 64, but Mario Party 3 I think is a pretty damn good game in its own right. I'm going Mario Party 3. What say you, Breakman?
I am going to go with Mario Party 3.
All right. You, Eric?
I'm going to go with Quake.
Okay. Mario Party 3.
I was never a big Mario Party guy.
Yeah. I like Mario Party, especially if you have friends to play with, for sure.
Yeah, if you have people to play with, it's great. If you're just playing against the computer, then I would stick with Quake.
Yeah. Okay. Final matchup in this round. Ocarina of Time versus Super Mario 64. I'm going to go with you, Eric. What are you picking?
Ocarina. I'm just that much of a Zelda fan.
Okay. You, Breakman?
I'm thinking about this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one for sure.
Oh my god. I've been critical of the Mario 64 for a lot of years, but it was revolutionary for its time. It's just... there were a lot of things that were fixed about Mario 64 by other games, but those other games wouldn't have been around if it wasn't for Mario 64.
Mm-hmm.
And I've went back and played it, and I've had a lot more fun with it in recent years too. It doesn't have that annoying little bastard. I'm going to go with Mario 64.
It's not that big of a deal. Good lord, Bray.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You got
So what are you picking, Break? You're picking Super Mario?
PTSD every time I say every time I hear over here. Ah! Oh my god.
Yeah, it's flashbacks, man. Come on. What are you picking, Break?
Hey.
It's not like she's Feed who interrupts you.
Yeah.
You can ignore Navi.
Yeah, it doesn't interrupt you like Eric does all the time, Break, man. How, I mean, just kidding, Eric. All right, what you picking now, Break?
Mario 64.
Oh, so it's up to me. It's Ocarina of Time versus Super Mario 64. I think Mario 64 is a great game, but there is no way I can pick against Ocarina of Time. How can I pick against Ocarina of Time, man?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Ocarina is a great game too. I love the Ocarina of Time.
Dungeon says, Fairy Sprite PTSD. Freak says, find out which of 64 beers is the best, and you each taste the beers as you decide. God damn, we'd get so drunk, Freak 5. That would be really...
Leave me out of that, because I don't really drink alcohol.
That would be super difficult to do. I mean, I guess Break and I
Frank
could
would
do
get
it.
diabetes, and so would Break.
No, we should... You know what we should do is, like, strains of weed. That'd be fantastic, man. Get these guys, a bunch of...
Ohio still doesn't have weed legal yet.
Who says anything about being legal, man? I'll send you shit. I know how to send shit through the mail, man. All right, let's go down to our final four here. We're gonna go with Ocarina of Time versus Mario Party 3. I'll go first on this one. I think, you know what? I'm gonna pick Mario Party 3. I know Ocarina of Time's probably a better game, but I think I had a ton of fun with Mario Party 3, and I just want to be contrarian. What say you, Breakman?
I think you're just being contrarian. I'm going with Ocarina of Time.
And you, Eric?
Ocarina.
All right, Ocarina.
Ocarina of Time.
yeah. Okra of Time moves on. Okay, let's move on to the last matchup here. Super Smash Brothers versus WWF No Mercy. I'll go first on this. I'm gonna go... Oh boy, this is a really, really tough one for me. I'm gonna go with WWF No Mercy. I think it had enough to beat Super Smash Brothers, especially the first Super Smash Brothers. What say you, Eric?
I'm gonna go with No Mercy because the original Smash Brothers was very simple idea.
Is it a clean sweep?
It doesn't have as much imagination going through it because it doesn't have a character creator.
Oh, wow. Like okay. Is it a clean sweep, Break?
Goddamn right it is.
All right. WWF moves on. Our final matchup, guys. Ocarina of Time versus WWF No Mercy. I'll start with you, Breakman.
We're going to be another show that picks Ocarina of Time to be the best game. I'm still picking No Mercy. Of all the N64 games, I think that one and Bond were the two I spent the most time with. Had the most fun.
Okay, you picked No Mercy.
GoldenEye and No Mercy. So,
what say you?
No Mercy. Come on, No Mercy.
What say you, Eric?
Still Zelda.
Okay, he's going with Zelda, so it's up to me. This is really tough.
Upset the carton train. Wait, what is it?
The what?
Upset the cart of...
Freak 5 says, send me some, Frank. Freak 5, once I get my harvest, let me see what I got left.
The Aquafina of Time.
I don't have any problem with that, Freak 5. I know how to send it very safely. So,
how would you send it without it getting smelled, though?
You put it in plastic, like like one of those vacuum sealed plastic, and you put alcohol in it, and you can send it anywhere, man. It's not like they got dogs at every fucking post office, just sniffing away. Like it's very safe to send through the mail, man. It's not an issue.
Does it go bad because the way the post office is getting cut left and right? It might take a while.
It does not go bad. It just ages and gets better, man. So there you go.
So it's like whiskey.
Yeah. Okay. Ocarina of Time versus No Mercy. This is the championship right here. Boy, oh boy, guys, why did you put me in this position? Because these are great fucking games. WWF No Mercy has done far and away better than I ever expected it to do to get to the finals. I am going to pick... I have to do a break, man. Ocarina of Time. Like, WWF's a great game, but Ocarina of Time is the greatest
It did more for the
N64
medium
game.
than
It definitely.
does.
If
It's
you
true.
think of the overall like impact of there's no doubt WWF No Mercy deserved to be in the finals. There's no question about it. But Ocarina of Time is all-time great game. There's no way I could not pick against that game. I mean, I looked at all the previous matchups, and it's like, other than GoldenEye was the one game that I had a hard time picking Ocarina of Time over, but everything else, man, I have no problems picking Ocarina of Time, and I don't think anybody should be ashamed to pick Ocarina of Time as their greatest N64 game of all time. Okay, guys, real quickly, we each have an idea. So, chat, you guys are going to be the ones to pick next month's tournament. My suggestion is going to be the greatest, since we're on the Nintendo kick, the greatest Nintendo game of all time. And by the way, I'm keeping track of all these games here, the games ones that we do, and we're going to do a final, bracket, 64 bracket once we fill it up. We're taking the final 4. So WWF No Mercy still has a chance to do good things in another tournament break, man. So no fear there. We're going to put them in another tournament later on down the road once we get 64 games. And we're going to determine the greatest game of all time, period, regardless of system. So these top 4, Ocarina of Time, Mario Party 3, Super Smash Brothers, and WWF No Mercy, you will see again later. But my pick is greatest regular Nintendo games. Eric, what is your pick? You said greatest action heroes.
Action characters.
Greatest action characters. Are you talking like 80s or just in general?
To keep it simple, make it 80s, 90s.
Okay, 80s and 90s. So greatest action heroes from the 80s or 90s. And what say you, Breakman?
I am going to go with from the 80s, music from movies. So not, and I don't mean like theme music. I mean like hit songs that came out. So like A View to a Kill, for instance.
So like Beat It, or like from movies?
From movies.
Oh, from
so
movies.
Like A View to a Kill, from View to a
Oh,
Kill.
okay. All right, I
See
got
what
you,
I'm
man. Gotcha. We could do that. We could definitely come up with 64. So
Never
chat,
saw that one.
your picks are either the greatest Nintendo games of all time, the greatest 80s movie songs of all time, or the greatest action heroes of the 80s and 90s. Your choice, chat. You pick it. That's what we're doing next month. So I'll go ahead and let you guys pick while we discuss something that I've been talking about a long time on Grinders. I kept talking about how the Dreamcast was pumping out games at 60 frames per second. Dungeon says action heroes of the 80s and 90s is really tempting, so just let us know what you guys want. Freak5 says Nintendo games, so 1 vote for Nintendo games. So there's 1 vote, so the rest of you guys got a vote in there.
Do you mean NES games? Or do you mean all-time Nintendo? NES
games, regular NES, because you could do 64 NES, you could do 64 Super NES. I mean, on and on, man. I mean, we could do them all. Okay, so I've been talking about this a long time, and it's been bothering me for years how the Dreamcast was pumping out games at 60 frames per second with awesome graphics. I mean, obviously it wasn't HD, but they were pumping out those games, and I made it a big, stink here. A lot of times Eric and I went round and around about, those type of games. But now, with Call of Duty coming out, Black Ops Cold War, they are touting that game as being 4K 120 frames per second out of the gate. So we're getting a launch game, guys, that they're touting as 4K 120 frames per second. I am not under any illusion that it's going to be a native 4K, but let's say it's something like 1080p 120 frames per second out of the gate. This kind of proves my point that we we can get there. We can do, 60 frames per second. Probably.
Yeah, but how expensive would it be to get there is the question.
How expensive? Like, really? It's not about expense.
I'm sure it's not cheap.
It's not expensive to do, Eric. Especially now.
It probably is on the actual people working on it,
Eric,
because they probably had to crunch lots of numbers for many hours.
Eric, if they can do it out of the gate, right, with a launch game for next gen, why could we not get 60 frames per second at 4K at the end of this life cycle with the PS4 and the Xbox One X? Both of those systems are more than capable. This kind of proves my point that it's about will more than anything. If you want something to happen, it can happen. Ratchet and Clank is running at 60 frames per second.
We can't pretend that there aren't such things as bottlenecks.
As well, I
in the past have kept things from like that from happening.
Well, these next systems are proving beyond a shadow of doubt that those limitations are gone, Eric. We will at the end of next life cycle see games that are pushing 4K, if not 4K, 120 frames per second. Now, whether or not you got a TV that can do it with 2.1 HDMI that can, is capable of transferring 48 gigabytes of data is a whole new animal that we can talk about. But I think this proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that those limitations are gone. We are done worrying about loading times, and we're going to be done worrying about, 60 frames per second. I mean, that's going to be like standard. I don't think there's going to be if you're pushing a game out that's only 30 frames per second next gen, you're lazy. And I have no problems calling out any developer.
Or you're underfunded.
Underfunded maybe, but if that's the case, then
any developers probably will still struggle for a while.
Breakman, I'm not a graphics whore, you son of a bitch. Maybe a regular whore. Yeah, that's true.
Well, definitely a regular whore.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like this. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X were capable of doing 60 frames per second at 1080p. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, there definitely were games that were doing that, especially the racing games. Now, you can argue that there's not a ton of assets in a racing game that's going to cause you any major hiccups, but that's not entirely true. You got to worry about all kinds of shit in racing games. You got to worry about the other cars on the track. You got to worry about the backgrounds. You got to worry about, the assets on the side of the roads. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. So
not to mention the music that's being streamed.
Absolutely, the music, all that. So I'll give last gen a pass on this, but this coming gen, Call of Duty has set that bar really, really fucking high, man. And no, Breakman, you're right, man. I'm not going to settle for anything less than 60 frames. Why should you? If you got a TV that can push 120 hertz and is capable of 4K and all that, why should anybody settle now for anything less than 60 frames? I mean, 60 frames is a smooth-ass experience. Think of the fighting games.
I don't care as long as the game is enjoyable.
I mean, you should care. You should. Our standards should be.
I mean, the only time you should care is when it's so crippling that it actually actively hurts the experience.
How many times?
The only time I care is when there's when you're having something like that, when you're having some latency.
Like Deadly Premonition 2's frame rate is atrocious. They had to fix it.
But how many times? How many times have
Fallout 3 did that too, where it was just, this is a single player game. Why can't I? Why is this dropped down to like 1 frame per second? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, Skyrim's another example of that, man. Like, there's no excuses anymore. The horsepower is going to be there, and I don't care if you put the settings on the greatest settings. There should be no excuses. The 60 frames.
Also, don't develop your game in HTML5. That's just a losing proposition.
Yeah, 60 frames is the. It should be the benchmark for any game going forward. 60 frames at least 1080p, if not 4K. I mean, if you're coming out with a game right out the jump, Call of Duty, of all fucking games, pushing 120 frames per second, and they're saying 4K. I know that's probably not native 4K, but it's got to be at least 1080p or 2K. You know, so there's no excuses. Every game going forward on next-gen systems should be running at 60 frames per second. No problem. Nothing at all. All right, so we got one vote for Nintendo games. Let's see. I'm going to call out people in chat. Dungeon, what say you for your pick for our...
Do you think Frank is a whore or a graphics?
A10's in chat. Guys, what... I mean, I guess it's up to Dungeon. Dungeon, what are you saying, man? Dungeon Buster is going to be, you know... If Dungeon says it's Nintendo games, it's going to be Nintendo games. He is contemplating the action heroes, so
I think it's funny. Slagar really did leave.
I know Slagar was pissed.
Once Star Wars Racer was out, he's like, "Fuck."
Star Fox.
Star Fox, man, he was pissed at Star Fox lost, man.
Oh, it was Star Fox? I thought it was Star Wars.
No, it was definitely Star Fox, man. He got upset, man. Star Fox.
That's the only reason he came here, I think.
Yeah. I don't think.
Fuck! I made the biggest mistake ever. Fuck these guys. God.
Yeah. Okay. Dungeon Buster says Nintendo games. Lots of fun we can have with that. So that'll be our next tournament, Nintendo game. And it just so happens that and
then after we're done with Nintendo games, we get to shitty Nintendo games.
Oh my god.
Top 64.
No, October's already taken, guys. I already got that. For horror movies, like I've got that planned out. But any other month, and we'll let chat pick, but October's kind of an unusual kind of deal. It has to be horror related. Maybe next year we'll do.
So many bad NES games.
I know. But let's
Deadly
go.
Towers. Let's do that one.
What's that?
Highlight.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on here to our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at break_man on Twitter and at RPGrinders, where you can ask me a question, ask Dear Breakman a question, or you can ask the harmonica a question.
Oh boy. Oh man, one day you're gonna actually get good at that goddamn harmonica, man. You're busting my ears, Breakman. Oh man. Nobody ever said that you were great on harmonica, Breakman. Let's make that a New Year's resolution for you, man.
Silver Surfer, X-Men, Wolverine, all terrible. Yes, absolutely.
That's
God,
true.
Those are so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially the Wolverine game.
Friday the 13th, stuff like that. But we're doing the greatest games of all
Friday the
time.
13th would have been an okay game if it didn't have that whole unfair advantage. Just Jason popping up at random anywhere. If they made him say the end
Jason.
boss.
No, it was a terrible
and you
game.
could build up and get weapons before he suddenly jumped you. It would have been okay.
No.
Exploration maybe, but
was-
no, you don't think so?
No, that's just a horrible game. Like Jaws, man. Jaws is another one. Horrible
Jaws
game.
is kind of fun though.
Ugh, yuck. Okay, we're doing next month. We're
The
doing
biggest problem with Jaws is you getting lost.
yeah. Next month, the greatest regular Nintendo games of all time. So we'll put that together. I mean that should be pretty easy to do. So, all right, Eric, your plugs.
I'm gonna plug BostonBastardBrigade.com and TotallyChain.com. I've got 2 reviews up on TotallyChain.com. One of hold on a second, Mortal Shell, and the other one's the banner I made. And you can look at, and if you like those reviews and you want to support me on Patreon, sending me as little as $1 would help me out a lot. So I can continue doing this, even though, even if you don't give me money, I'm going to do it anyways. 'Cause it's my passion.
Don't say that, Eric.
If you do something good, you deserve to get compensation.
Yeah. Don't say that, Eric. Just tell him that like you'll be out of your house if you don't get $1 from Patreon.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, you gotta get ahead, man.
I have a day job.
That's how you do, man. You kind of have to you don't lie. You kind of bend the truth a little bit. You just you know.
Yeah, like Frank says, you gotta get head.
Yeah, exactly. Get ahead and get head for sure.
No, just head. You just have to get head. You don't have to worry about lying. Just get head.
Yeah, all these bad games we're mentioning are all licensed, so maybe we should purge licensed games off the table.
No.
category for that.
No, you got to do all of them, man. Total
That might
Recall.
be a little bit harder because there are only 255 Nintendo games.
Oh God.
No, there's far more than that. There's like about 1,000.
Total Recall was a horrible game. Freak 5 says
that came to America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that number is definitely higher than 500 at least.
Yeah, well, we're doing the best of the best next month. Another sweeto, my wife's going to increase our internet to the highest speeds available. That's awesome, Freak 5.
Nice.
He forgot a stinko, so.
Ah, damn it! Why you gotta ruin all the happy vibes?
I know. I know, man. Okay.
You're getting a sad harmonica for that.
That wasn't very sad, man. That was like kind of hopeful and melancholic, if I had to kind of say, you know. Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders. Just capitalize the RPG anywhere appropriate. And next month, starting next week, we'll be doing the greatest Nintendo games of all time. So you're going to want to stick around for that tournament. First round next week, round of 64, as they say. Freak 5 Stinko was last year in Des Moines. They raised our sales tax and told us they were lowering our property tax rates, and they probably didn't.
What was
do
the
that.
point?
Yeah, probably not. They probably didn't do that.
They didn't lower them.
Yeah, they never do, man.
That's what's wrong with our government is they promise things and then they're never held accountable to them. Nobody is.
You know what they did? That's something that they would totally do. They reappraised everyone's house to be worth more. So just move out, man. Make up the difference right then and there. Fuck them. Move somewhere better. You know, Iowa seems like a fucking bad place for minorities to live.
Like, it's just, I'm sick of like getting screwed over by the people in power.
Yeah.
I'm fucking just so sick of this.
Yeah,
shit.
that's why you should vote Green Party, man. Fuck this fucking duopoly that we got, man. Fucking Democrats.
I mean, instead of overthrowing the government, wouldn't it be more effective to overthrow the corporations?
Yeah,
because they're the ones that control the government.
They did it again. Said our house is worth even more than they said last year. They always do that shit. Freak 5, always, man. They're fuck faces, man. Motherfuckers. Okay. Let's see, what else do I want to plug? Oh, thank everybody in chat. Slagar, even though he got mad that Star Fox didn't win. Another TV viewer. A10 was in there. Commander Root was in there. Lurks. Our good friend Dungeon Buster. And, of course, our good friend Freak 5 Chaos. So, there you go. Thanks, everybody, for joining it. You guys have anything else?
Slagar's a man of his word.
Yeah, he is, man. He's like, I'm out. Fuck this shit. I think he had one too many, man, honestly.
One too many of us.
Yeah.
Be sure to keep washing your face and your hands and wear a mask.
Yeah.
And social distance.
Oh my god, and cover your fucking nose when you're wearing a mask, you morons.
Yeah.
And if you're try to do something about your kids' schooling, keep them away from school as long as you can.
Yeah. I mean, if you can afford it, just, hire somebody to watch your kids during the day at your house. And I know people got to get back to work and it's really, really tough. And, but I mean, we got to get control of this some way because the government ain't going to help us at all. That's obvious. And if you think that Joe Biden is going to be the answer, he ain't going to be the answer either. But, it is what it is. We got to do what we can, take care of each other and all that type of stuff. Anything else, Breakman?
No. No.
All right. Freak says, while playing Animal Crossing, I was thinking, why can't we put money into our accounts using the app on the Nick phone in the game? Well, they can't think of everything, can they, Freak 5? So there you go. All right. Stay safe out there. We want to see you.
In my account.
Yeah. Stay safe out there. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we're out. Later, everybody.
Nobody else is going to interrupt.
Of course you got to interrupt.
Well, no, but I was waiting for somebody else to do it first. I mean, I'll do it, fine.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to do it, Breakman. Might as well be you.
I got to upload the episode.
You guys are sons of bitches, man. Always ruining the outro. Hey, everybody in chat, we had a really fun time. How are you guys digging these tournaments? Are you guys liking them? You guys think they're cool? I mean, I think
we're gonna have more people walk off.
I know. I don't want people walking off, man. That's the last thing I want. I want more people to join on in, If you guys in chat can do us a favor and just follow us on Twitch, that would be very helpful. We're like 4 away from becoming an actual affiliate of Twitch. So I don't know how that happened. I mean, but so there we go.
Did your video feed kind of die?
What?
It's still showing like the Like a Dragon thing, and even though the line's playing.
The what? What are you talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, I just didn't change it back to the RPGrinders thing. Let's see. But then I thought that's actually what I'm doing when I use the app. Yeah, there you go. The tourneys are fun. It's a great way to hear more opinions on stuff. So Dungeon is there you go. Freak says Break is jacking it in San Diego. So there you go.
When did you go to San Diego?
I'll go just the jacket.
Yeah. Why not, man? Jacket in San Diego for sure.
Okay,
chat. Thank you guys so much.
Do you have frequent Fapper miles?
Yeah, he's in the Mile High Fapping Club. Yeah. Honestly, if you guys haven't followed this on Twitch, go ahead and do it, man. I mean, it takes like 2 seconds. I don't know what exactly it means to be an affiliate, but I'm assuming we'll get more views, and I know I get like chat emojis for you guys and stuff like that. So I mean, 4 more. That's all we need. So thank you guys if you could do that. All right, guys in chat, thank you guys so much. You guys know where to find me on Twitter.